Hey guys, Nick here from Velocity Trading. In this video, I want to recap, my best trading week in my trading career. Making over $80,000 this week of trading. One of those trades was a, kind of a swing slash, long-term investment. You know, we've been talking about, Workhorse for over a year in my chat room. Big shout out to Come to Life for finding the idea on Workhorse. He found this back in, may have been middle of 2019. He found it on Workhorse. Let me just pull up a chart here. Yeah, so it was after Trump tweeted about it, on the pullbacks. I believe he was accumulating, or it may even been, here back of May of 2019. Come to Life, found the idea on Workhorse. He, put together the thesis. He got in here. I didn't get in, till after, we had this massive pullback. I started accumulating some shares in November, December here on Workhorse. That's when I started picking up. I think Come to Life was getting in here around 150, if I recall. He remember telling me that. And just the overall thesis on this trade. I mean, there's just so much to really go over. I don't, I could, talk about this play for, a half hour. I don't want to do that. I'll just do a quick little rundown. And I may include a video in the description of, another trader, investor, who put out a video on it that I thought was really good. I'll include that in the description below. So, Workhorse, they make, electrical vehicles. They produce, their C-Series vans. They, produce drones. Those are two, massive market. The EV industry is just, booming and, expected to grow massively in the next 10 to 20 years. I think California said they want, 75% of, cars on the road to be, electrical by, I think, 2030 or 2040. And I think the bill just got passed recently. It may have been, over the weekend for the, the postal, which we're in the running for a, postal contract for, $6 billion deal. And there's a bidding between I think it's 4 companies or maybe it's 6. We're all competing for, a deal for, next generation vehicles for the postal. And, Come to Life's been talking about it, that he thinks we're gonna get a piece of it or possibly even get all of it. And he was telling me it's way back, guys. Back here in 2019, right? We're in halfway through the more than halfway year of 2020. So we're finding especially Come to Life. I don't want to give too much credit on me, guys. I mean he's the master head swings. He's the best swing trader that I know, and he was telling me this way back, right before people are now buying this at $20 now. While we were getting in here $2, $1. He was telling me this a year ago, right? He's like, Nick, I think Workhorse is primed to get the contract or get a piece of it. Ohio is a swing state too. There's some political things going on here too, and you guys saw Pence. He was at the Endurance launch, right? Workhorse owns 10% stake. Of Lordstown, right? Lordstown Motors. So, there's that. They have, I think, the biggest plan in the country. I think they could produce up to 400,000, vehicles. So, there's a lot going on here, guys. A lot going on here in Workhorse. Again, I don't, want to go run down, everything here. There's a lot to really discuss here. But that was kind of the thesis, last year on it, right? And, Come to Life was telling me, he's like, Nick, I think this is a good, swing. I think we could see, upwards of $10 on it. And I picked up some, and, I was patient. I held, I've been holding this thing for, almost a year now. That was back in December or November. It was, either one of these 2 months I got in it. And I held through, a big pullback too. I got all the way down to, $1.30. I was down huge, but, I was confident in it. I added actually some more shares in the dips, and it, it paid off, and it turned out to be my, my biggest trade ever here on Workhorse. Selling some at 14 here. I posted on Twitter. You guys can see here in my Discord too. I made just under 70,000 on it. I'm still holding some shares. Still some unrealized there, and I'm going to continue to hold it. The rest, is a long-term investment for me. I locked in, a good portion of my shares, and the rest, just going to ride it out. I usually don't do this. You guys know me. I'm more of a day trader. I'm not really a long-term investor, but hey, I'm going to look to hold some, long-term, see where it goes. I already locked in a good amount. Again, this is a big, market. Drones, electrical vehicles, the future, right? So I think this could be, a good swing here on Workhorse. Again, I'm not a licensed financial advisor or anything like that. Just a thesis, right? Obviously be cautious. I'm not telling anyone to go buy anything. Especially, got to be cautious buying something that's up, 1,000% off its lows here in the past month. We could definitely see this thing, pull back, consolidate, right? Who knows, right? But, for me, personally, I'm going to hold some shares of Workhorse here and, see where it takes me. Usually not my style here, but, for this one, I'm just going to let it ride here in Workhorse. Again, I'll include a video down below if you guys want to learn more about, Workhorse and, Lordstown Motors and, what's going on here. I know I kind of just went through like a quick rundown, not the best, best overview of it there. It would just take too long, so I'll include a video down below. Alright, that was the swing there. Got in around 250s, 260s, sold at 14, still holding some shares. So that was, my biggest trade of my career. I did have a couple other trades this week. I want to go over those here as well. So after that, I did take a trade on POLA. This was a low float EV name. This was a big play. I believe this was on, what day was this? Yeah, it was earlier in the week. Let me pull up my executions chart. Alright, so you guys can see here, got in later in the day. I was looking for a wave 3 pattern on it. It was a low float stop, big float rotation here on POLA. Saw it, started to creep on up, put in a bit of a lower high here. Should have died, right? Faded below VWAP, rejected. I think shorts were expecting this thing to just be a slow, nice end of day fade, but volume came in. Tape started to speed on up. You guys see volume started to rev in here, so I was looking for one of my textbook patterns, right? You guys know me. Wave 3 pattern, so got some long here, 250s. Was selling some there. Selling some there, 280s in. This one was I sold a little early there. Wish I would have kept a little bit more for 3+, but locked in I think about half there, and then sold the rest there, 310s, 320s. So that was a little day trade there. There on POLA. After that, MYOS the following day. Yeah, so MYOS, this was a tough one. MYOS was a very tough trade this week. This was a tricky name. Actually, I don't have my full chart here on MYOS. Forgot to snip this one out. Yeah, so MYOS, I don't have the full chart on this one. It's the only one I didn't have the full chart on. So, but I do remember what I did on it. So MYOS, I did actually short a little bit here into the pops. Saw a little bit of a seller step in there. Had a quick little scalp there pre-market. Covered into the flushes there. It's a low float, so being mindful of that. But MYOS, if you do look at the daily, I don't want to go there because then I gotta scroll back. But there's a history of giving back its games there in MYOS. The filings weren't too clean either on this one. So I did have a little quick, short scalp there for a couple cents. Out of the open, I did long this on MYOS. Got long right around this 250 here after I saw these pullbacks started to hold. Volume was coming in, nice baseline volume. Got long there 250s. Sold over 3+ on it. Then I actually flipped it short here. That was the plan on it. My plan was if it sets up out of the morning, off the open, I'll look to long it, which I did. So longed it, sold it. Then I actually flipped short there on like 325s, and wasn't looking for anything crazy on it. I was looking for like a pullback to like 260s on it, but it swiped back up. This thing had really aggressive, swipes, and out of nowhere you just see, huge volume just rev in and just, swipes on you. So, I ended up getting stopped out here. I think I did get a little slippage. I did take a loss there. Then I got, I wasn't too pleased about this trade. I got back in it. I think it was here, might have been here. Yeah, I think it was here. So it started, peeking out, had these aggressive, shove moves, and I saw 325, started to reject. So I put on a short into this pop here, like 315, 310s. And then they, pulled a really nice trap here. It was like a huge bidder. I think it was like 100K. They pulled that 100K bid and they swiped it on up. They, playing a lot of games here in MYOS. This stopped me out, and I took a, I took like a 1.5R loss there on that trade. I did get stopped out on that one, and that was my last trade on it in the morning on MYOS. So that stopped me out there, and then right around, what was it, like 11? Yeah, it was right around here. Oh yeah, it was right here. So I actually got long here on MYOS after we pulled back here sub VWAP. I saw we weren't really giving up this levels. 280 was a key level on MYOS. We weren't really giving up that 280 level. So as we started to get back over 3 on it, I got back in here long, thinking we were gonna squeeze up. Again, we talk about where it should have died, but it didn't. That catches a lot of shorts, so I flipped it. I didn't flip it. I just got re-longed on it, right around like 304, 305. It wasn't my target here. I was up, but I was really looking for 350 plus on it. I was thinking, all right, this is the trap here. They're laying the trap for a move higher here. It's not giving up. Volume's huge on it. Float rotation, low float. And then we had this big stuff here. And that's, after I saw this, I'm like, okay, whoever was maybe manipulating this, pumping it, or maybe it was an algo, they exited into this move here. We call this like the death candle. So I had a death candle move here on MYOS. I ended up stopping out. Immediately after I saw this thing, I stopped out. I think I may have lost a couple cents on it, and then I flipped short on it. And this is, and guys, I even told the chat this. I was pretty aggressive on this MYOS name. Usually I'm not taking this much trades, but it was the first day of the month. I remember. I think it's like the first day of July here in MYOS. I don't know. I was just trading. I was making a lot of trades here. I ended up making a good P&L number on MYOS. My accuracy wasn't amazing on it, but overall I did net a good amount. I think I made like 8R on the day here on MYOS. So got reshorted here at 290, and I thought this was it. I did think this was it on MYOS. I'm like, all right, it's a death candle there. Bids are gone, price action dead. I don't think this thing's coming back. So I did slam there, pretty good size short. I think like 10,000 shares. And I was looking for like 220s on it, 220s, maybe even $2, sub $2 if we get it. And it was looking good. I was just chilling out, fading, doing its thing, right, rejecting the levels. Bids weren't there, volume was dying down. And then all of a sudden, just came right back in. Volume came back in here, started to speed on up, and I did stop some out here. So once it re-broke, this 255, 256, I ended up getting out half of my 10,000 shares short. So locked in a little there, like 255, 256. And I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just some covers. We just went on a big fade. Sure, some shorts are sized in well here. It's trading a lot of liquidity there. So that's what I was thinking. But once I saw it starting to hold these levels, that shouldn't have held, right? If this was just some covers, likely with just, a couple green candles up, coming to, key level, maybe 270s and reject stuff, 280s, reject stuff. But once I'm starting to see these pullbacks hold, and coming up here to view up, I'm seeing this starting to hold, I was out, right? So once we started the hold here, I just took it off there, for small profit, the remaining of my shares, and actually flipped long. I got back in again here in MYOS, so got back in here, long, pretty big size too, because I was pretty confident that I was thinking, all right, we saw some POLA yesterday. where it died. It should have died. It came back 2 p.m., 1 p.m. around that time for a wave 3 pattern. So I did get in here, nice size, long, added some over 3, sold some into 340s, 350s, and the rest I was looking for, 375 plus. But MYOS just a lot of games here. Just this thing was just giving shorts a lot of trouble, giving longs a lot of trouble, not breaking up one way, breaking down one way. Really showed its card into after hours, end of day, where we finally flushed out into the close. So sold majority of it, was leaving a partial in case you got a parabolic move, but ended up stopping out, and you can see it came actually right back up, broke a new high, had this clear out type move where breaks over the highs, ends up peaking there, and then we got that that exit type move again, right, where it just gives back, bids are gone, volume starts to decrease, and then from there it was a pretty steady fade on MYOS. And that was my last trade on it that long. After that, I'm like, no, I'm done with this thing. I'm taking way too many trades on it. I'm up good on it. Let me just walk away. And that's what I did there in MYOS. So that was that trade. And then I had one last trade on Friday on JOBE. And I had a meeting too on Friday, so wasn't really looking to take any trades, to be honest, but I did see a decent opportunity here on JOBE. Actually, this is one that I actually did have my chart on it, so you guys can see here, long did here on JOBE, right around like 1040 on it, and this sold quickly into the pops there. Wasn't anything crazy. I think I made like 2.6 R on it. JOBE was trading good volume, good baseline volume. I said in the pre-market game plan, I'm only interested in this one if the tape's thin, right? Sometimes we see these, these $1 name that just trades really heavy, and I don't like the price action on it. But JOBE was staying pretty thin, right? It was one of those circuit halts, one of those circuit names. Just keeps halting. Usually don't like that, but I did see a good opportunity on it right here for a nice little, and kind of wave 2-ish type pattern, right at the end of the wave 1 time frames we like to look for. So just got long here, full size, 190, 189, just risking this 180 mark, 185, start to broke down below, like 185. I would have cut it. Was looking for kind of immediate follow through too, and we got it. Followed through here nicely, halted, opened up, and I was just selling right after we opened there. I wasn't really looking for anything really more than that. Like I said, I had a meeting Friday, so wasn't really looking for anything crazy. So made about 2.6 R, 2.6 K on this one. Really the big trades of the week were Workhorse and MYOS. Made about 8K that day overall. And yeah, that was the week, guys. My best week. Had a lot of trades this week. Especially in MYOS. Yeah, not really too much more to say. If you guys are interested in joining the room here, free trials, we're going to be removing those soon, so definitely get on that if you guys are interested in a free trial. We live stream our trading. We do small caps Monday through Friday. I stream my trades every single day. So does Alex and Jimmy. They do options. They're really good with the options. Really good for small accounts too. You don't need much money to play around with. The options, they have a really good system they teach. But yeah, if you guys are interested, everything will be included down in the description below. Really excited to get back into things. This week, first full week of July. Trading has just been incredible. Every trader I've spoken to said, this is the hottest they've ever seen the market. And I've talked to traders who've been doing this for 20 plus years, and this has been the hottest they've seen it. So it's a really great time to get into things. Learn how to day trade. Just market's incredible, giving opportunity every single day, and I'm super excited to get back into things this week. So that's it for the video, guys. Include some stuff in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, shoot us an email, velocitytrading@gmail.com. That's it, guys. I'm out. Peace.